Welcome back to another video, guys. In this video we'll cover a majority of my deer hunting season. It was a great season overall, with many opportunities. But as my first year self-filming my hunts, there were many issues and some learning curves and tool placement concerns I had to figure out. So follow me and we'll begin this story the day after I arrived home from the UP. And if you haven't seen that video and you want to see some waterfowl and grouse hunts, click in the top right hand corner and enjoy.
Is that a trap? Might be. Gotta take a pee in it too, so.
Private this time. I was debating on whether or not going to state or to private, but I decided to go private because the wind was better. We've got a west wind right now. Hit me in the face right here. And down there I saw some turd piles of obviously deer scat. So hopefully something makes the mistake of coming out in front of me tonight. So oh, there's a deer. He actually came in downwind of me, so I think that's why he spun around. He was headed at me, but he turned around. About 15 minutes after that first encounter, I turned around in the tree to see a deer coming toward me upwind, which is what I had set up for. As you can see by the video, as one deer approaches my tree, another appears from the brush. I was so focused on that first deer that I didn't see that second deer until I arrived home and watched back the footage. At this point I had just checked the wind and my scent is falling directly below me. So yes, I know what you guys are thinking. I went into this small property and blew out all the deer. Essentially, yes. There were many things I could have done different with this hunt, but it was my first hunt ever on this property. It was more of an observational sit than anything, to kind of locate where the deer migrate from and how they use the terrain. And for all of you who have self-filmed, you know how difficult it can be.
It's probably about 6:30. Bumped 3 deer on the way in.
Make your noise, buddy.
It's currently 5:30. I was helping out some friends do some stuff on their property, so I got in here a little late. I'm along a creek bed. I've come across some deer tracks going through it. And as I was setting up like 10 minutes ago, I almost got all the way done setting up. Back that way, the wind's coming in my face like this, coming towards me. And a deer started blowing back there. I'm assuming it was a doe. But she was probably like 40, 50 yards away and blew like 5 or 6 times. So it's not a good start to the hunt, but at least there's deer around. So I'll show you guys what this looks like. I got a little trail running underneath me right here, so. That's a cat.
After being in the tree for about a half hour, I got my first visitor. There's a fawn in there feeding around.
There's some fog rolling in.
Just a few short minutes after I hit that grunt call, a young buck makes his way toward me. We had a stare-off for about 5 minutes, give or take, to the point where my arm was actually getting tired holding onto the camera arm, but he slowly worked his way off. That evening of November 1st, I had stepped inside and instantly received a phone call from Emma, who was hysterical and experiencing extreme anxiety because she had just smoked a doe with her car. She wasn't very happy, although I made her take this photo. She got a deer before I did this season. That following day, I was on my way to hang out with her when I was driving down the same road that she hit hers on the day prior, and I passed what looked like to be another fresh roadkill deer. This guy was not here yesterday, and he is a fresh one. You can tell by the way his neck is bending. So we are gonna take this boy home and cut him up too. The antler shattered though, so unfortunately he ran across the road at the wrong time, but fortunately for us, more meat. So guys, I'm editing the video right now, and I just want to say, looking back, I'm really glad he decided to run across the street. If you're a hunter, there are features about the habitat that you pick up on the more time you spend secluded out in the wilderness. You learn to move silently through the brush. You learn how to navigate the landscape in a similar way that animals do. You learn how to differentiate between fresh sign and old sign. I once heard the quote, "The woods are my sanctuary, the woods are my church."
So it is November, 7th, and I'm sitting out here in a little wooded area that opens up. I've got a lot of movement in this area where I'm in the saddle, and hopefully something makes the mistake of walking by. It's a beautiful, beautiful day out right now. So, cross your fingers. I've been seeing a lot of little bucks, but I want at least a 6-point, at least. So, hopefully we get lucky tonight. I've said that to the camera 30, 40 times now. Hopefully we get lucky, but that's the way it is hunting in Michigan, so.
And this is the exact reason I wanted these old does off the property. They're too smart. You can tell by the video, the yearling wanted to pass through right in front of me, but the mother's experience saved them. The morning of November 29th, I had just gotten my camera set up and I looked up to see a dark shadow walking towards me. Minutes before illegal shooting, that was the only deer I saw that day. As you can tell by the audio, the wind was brutal that day, so I didn't even last very long. At this moment, I'm debating on if I want to shoot one of these does or not. I don't decide quick enough as they make their way to the woods to the south. After they slowly feed to the south, another group of 3 deer pop out slightly further down the trail. I decide to get ready and get rested. You can hear me take a breath and get steadied in as I felt good to take my shot. My camera unfortunately focused on the branches, so it's hard to tell where I hit, and unfortunately after reviewing the footage it looks like it's far back, and it appears like it is because she tucks her legs and runs off. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Alright guys, so it is about 7:20, 7:25-ish. It's been about 2.5 hours since we shot the deer. We shot it at about 5:05-ish sometime. So we're gonna go out and just look. I don't think it was a very good shot. It felt like a great shot. You can actually hear me on camera take a deep breath in and then exhale. And then right after the exhale, you can hear the shot. Anyways, we'll get out there. I have, as you can see, 2 headlamps on, and I got a big other flashlight, so we'll get to it. And the property that I'm hunting is private, and it is a 7-acre property, so it is very small. So I'm hoping not to bump it. If it starts to look bad, I'll probably just back out and wait till tomorrow because I'm gonna hunt the morning anyways, so I'll just come back in and look after hunting. So we'll see. While I'm looking for blood, I find some good sign. The blood trail was light at first, but after 15 to 20 yards I found a big deposit of blood on the ground. And after another 25 yards, I lose the blood trail and ultimately decide to come back the next day with some help and better light during the daytime. My friend and I searched for hours but come up with nothing more than the blood from the previous day, and the last sign was a patch of hair on the trail she took. That tells me that it was more than likely not a lethal hit, and she will be okay and survive. We grid searched for multiple hours but decided to call it after seeing no sign of her. This incident taught me a lesson. If you're hunting a smaller property and don't have immediate permission to access the neighboring property, a shoulder punch shot is probably your best bet. Because more than likely, they're not going to travel a significant distance on a broken shoulder. The month of December is my busy season at work, so unfortunately I wasn't able to get out as much as I would have liked during the late doe season. You still have the option to take a buck with a bow, but as the season is coming to an end, I begin feeling the pressure to get some venison in the freezer. After those first 3 does pass by, another 3 doe walk out in front of me. I was curious if they were the same does or different ones. I'm gonna slow this down a little bit for you guys so you can see the actual trauma that happened. Take a look at that large 450 round collide with her shoulder, but then also take a look at how her ribs concave inward. And here are a few freeze frames so you can get the visual. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that big indentation on her side was my bullet exiting her other side, and there's so much force that it actually sucked in that part of her rib cage. Basically, at this point, the 2 yearlings are looking for their mother, who has already expired. They stayed around the area unsure of what was actually happening. Probably never encountered this situation before and obviously confused. So let's jump into Onyx real quick and give you guys a visual. I shot her from here next to this large pine tree. She ran this way through the thicket towards the creek. She piled up right there, and her yearlings were walking around right in front of her.
She is hit. She is hit hard. There's a doe down, baby. Alright guys, so I just got down from my tree. That's where I was sitting. And over there is right where I shot her. So we're gonna go over there and look for blood, and then we're gonna get out of here and just give her some time. She was right there. Oh yeah. I think those little fawns just ran away. She's definitely done. There's no way that she can. That's a lot of blood. This right here is the spot of impact, right when it hit her.
After doing a quick blood scout, I call one of my good friends and hunting partners and let him know I have a doe down and if he would like to come out and help me track her.
Call him real quick because he called me.
He acknowledges and says he'll be off work shortly to help. Having friends and family to help with this process makes it much more enjoyable. Having that companionship and rapport together makes it all that more pleasant.
Did you hear it?
Yeah.
It was like,
I looked at this right here, and then she turned and ran that way, and I just backed out. Look on that limb right there. You see that limb?
Yeah, I see the spray.
Look at that limb. Red brick road, baby, here we come.
Well, there's like a bunch of. Oh my god. She painted it for us.
I see it.
Dude, do you see this bush right here?
Spraying. Hey,
What?
you think she crossed onto the creek?
I don't know.
I don't think she.
Maybe she didn't.
I don't think she did.
I don't think she did either.
I think she made it.
Walk right past her
I think she made it 20 yards.
and piled up right here.
That's why these fawns were like running in
right
this
here.
area. They were literally running right here, walking back and forth right here.
And we just spooked one off as we were walking up here.
Yeah, I bet you it was one of them little ponds.
That's a good looking deer.
Look at that tree. She popped right up against that tree and then ran over there
Didn't even make it too.
and piled up. Stopped right in front of the creek. Be careful there. I think I just slipped on some blood.
Yeah. Look at this. Look at this chunk of hair, man.
Dude.
Big.
I shot her on this other side.
Whoo!
Yeah, that's the entrance. And I think the exit, we saw the exit.
Yeah.
So it definitely went all the way through her, and she went.
I'd say if we measure this out on Onyx, it's 25, because there's your tree.
Yeah,
That's 30.
yeah. Like I could have shot her standing right here if there was a lane cut through here to my tree. This is a 7-acre property, and there's 3 properties on this side. There's 1 property on this side, and then it goes all the way down, like 12 properties on this side, and they're all maybe 80 yards thick, maybe. So, you know, I didn't aim for the shoulder, but I did aim for the shoulder.
Hey, it was very effective with the 450 at 30 yards.
Yeah.
Good?
Well, if you guys made it this far into the video, I want to thank you guys for watching, as this season wasn't the most successful, but to be able to capture it all on film and play it back and watch it in the future, and allow you guys to watch it, makes it all worth it. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video, and stay tuned as I have another hunting video in the works.